Willpower, September 24th, 2019. This is Inverse News Report. While you hear a lot about homelessness in Los Angeles and San Francisco, homeless encampments in San Jose, California are apparent a mere 5 blocks from where I live, in what is called the heart of Silicon Valley, a phrase that always kind of puzzled me when the giants of the tech industry, Hewlett Packard, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, Apple, all came out of Palo Alto. But then it seems to me San Jose has a massive inferiority complex. So at least the city is perceptive. It wants to be a big city like Los Angeles without any of the glamour or style that makes them stand out. It has all the worst aspects of a small town and a big city combined with none of the benefits. That's Jim's opinion. He's my political analyst and advisor. However, Wikipedia has nothing but positive things to say about the city, calling it the cultural and political center of Silicon Valley. Jim called it the anus of the Bay Area. Wikipedia, however, claims San Jose has an estimated 2017 population of 1,035,317, the third most populous city in California, right after LA and San Diego, and it covers an area of 1,790.97 square miles. And I quote, "San Jose is a global city, a center for innovation and affluence, and a moderate Mediterranean climate and extremely high cost of living." Well, I guess there has to be some downside. As a cultural, political, and economic center, the city has earned the nickname Capital of Silicon Valley. So that's Wikipedia. But listen to Jim tell you night and day what a hellish pit of mediocre crap San Jose is, with no good restaurants. You start thinking about moving to another city. I now think LA and San Francisco, with the feces and needles piling up on the street, are worse places by far. Breeding grounds for disease. If you live in California, homelessness is coming to a city near you, because it's a growing problem throughout the state. Why is this happening? Why does the problem continue to worsen, despite the millions and millions of dollars the government spends on programs for the homeless? And now, how does this happen in a liberal state controlled by Democrats, who espouse to be concerned about the human condition and want to help lift people out of poverty? To understand the problem, I went to Marbury Street, where there is a homeless encampment, and interviewed Rachel Figueroa, if I'm pronouncing that right. Excuse me if I'm not. I don't mean to mispronounce her name, but that's the best as I can remember how she pronounced it and told it to me. Figueroa, a homeless woman in her 50s, and I interviewed her on September 8th. She told me she has been on the streets for 2.5 years, and her mother passed away. She was unemployed at the time. To make the house payment, she transferred possession of the house to her sister, who decided it would be for the best if she left. In order to keep my kids safe, I left, she said.
And when my husband passed away, everything kind of just fell apart. And it was an unforeseen event. I mean, we went to bed and didn't wake up the next morning.
Oh my. And this quote, I asked her what the government has done to help get her off the streets, and she came up, let me just get this into position here, just about, right there is good enough. Okay, here you go.
A program deals with housing for homeless people, and they were giving a survey. The survey consists of, I guess you have to score so many points.
Yeah.
We ask you questions like if you've ever been victim of violence on the street, victims of violence on the street, if people try to hurt you, and stuff like that. You know, they ask you questions like that, and you have to score so many points in order for them to even they put you in a database, and an agency picks you up, I guess.
So basically what she's saying there is that sure, and the way she said that she was certain that the state or the city assigns people like her certain percentage points that result in a score that they use to determine the need and the eligibility of the homeless person. Today she is still living on Marbury Road, waiting for government assistance. The encampment has gotten bigger and the problem continues to get worse. And the California state budget admits on page 6 there is a homeless epidemic and points to a mental health and substance use disorder as a main cause and a need for treatment services as well as emergency shelter and housing supports to combat this problem. And I set up a link below to the budget analysis, and I quote, "The budget includes significant one-time investments in both housing and homelessness. $1.75 billion for housing and $1 billion for homelessness." $1 billion. What are they doing with all that money? Buying more of them? To put that number in perspective, California spends $3.5 billion on health care services for prisoners. Wait a minute. Giving them access to mental health and medical and dental care. They don't even give dental care to most government retirees, even with a commitment on the job of 40 years. I know, because I am a government employee retired now. So California spends a total of $1.625 billion on environmental concerns, research, and development. There is a growing evidence to show the widespread belief that global warming is a catastrophic future occurrence is mistaken. I provide a link to an interview with Dr. Tim Ball, author of Humans Cause Global Warming. You can find that below. Renowned environmentalist, consultant, and former climatology professor at the University of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, Dr. Ball is definitely worth a listen. Despite the growing evidence, climate change is a hoax. The government is using global warming or climate change to tell you what to eat, where you can sleep, what you can drive, and just in case you don't like it, they want to take your guns. I refer to my story, Homeless Overpopulation, on Inverse News, link below. So California is spending more money on a problem that may or may not be real, the climate change hoax, growing evidence that it isn't real, than on a problem that is real, homelessness. The state, and I will end on this, a state is called the coldest of all cold monsters. Coldly lieth it also, and this lie creepeth from its mouth. I, the state, am the people. Friedrich Nietzsche said that. The state benefits when the people are weak and powerless, because that equals more power for them. So to make us weak, they play divide and conquer. The mainstream media can't be trusted to give you all the facts you need to make an informed decision. So when I see lies, I call them out. I'm here for you. Will Powers. Support my work on Patreon.